Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. So today I got me another gaming keyboard. This one right here is by AULA. They sent this to me and they asked me to take a look at it. I guess because they saw that I've been doing a lot of keyboard reviews. But anyway, this thing looks beautiful. I've been kind of looking at it. By the way, I noticed every single keyboard that's coming out these days are kind of like wireless. They try to do like 2.4 gigahertz and Bluetooth along with wired. I don't know, is that the thing now? I've been using a lot of wired keyboards, so yeah, wireless and hot swappable. I guess that's kind of the two requirement now when you are building keyboards. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So the one thing that you're probably wondering is how long does the battery last on a keyboard like this with full-on RGB? Well, they did say that it lasts about 20 hours with default RGB on. I don't know what default means, but just the RGB on. And it'll last you 100 hours without the RGB. That's pretty incredible for a wireless keyboard without any RGB. So let's say if it stays in this state. By the way, it looks so good right here. You know, I read it and I saw on the box that, hey, it's a translucent keycaps, but you have to really appreciate it after you open up the box because these looks fantastic. They look like glass in front of me. I don't know if you guys get that same feeling, but it is. Keys sound like a blue switch. Got a nice tactile feel to it. So yeah, oh well, obviously it's a blue switch. Look, I mean, I can see inside, it's blue. I was like, it sounds like a blue switch. Okay, so yeah, you can definitely see through the keycaps right there. That is a blue switch. That's cool. Yeah, that sounds really good, by the way. And it is beautiful. Look at this thing. Have you ever seen translucent keycaps before? You know what? We are going to take this thing off. Yep, first thing we're gonna do. Let's see what this looks like right here. The lettering looks good on there. It's you can kind of feel it on the front right there. And it does feel like, and it does feel slippery, just like it is if you were to touch glass. But it's not glass though, it's plastic. And then the H is kind of like etched on top of it. That's interesting. Can't wait to plug this in to see what it looks like. So anyway, some details about this is USB-C. Right here, got yourself a USB-C cord, got some extra blue switch if you need that. So let's go ahead and light this thing up, shall we? I have a lot of light in here, so it's kind of shiny, but if you're sitting right in front of it, it is beautiful. Now, if I face it in front of me like this, it's not blinding, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing that I worry about this, is that because it's translucent, it might be blinding to the eyes as you're sitting there typing, but really not. I would say that the only problem that I would have with a translucent keycaps like this is depending on your angle. So for instance, if I were to angle it like this way, you see if I have the light source just right, it's gonna be kind of glaring, right? So I'm gonna have to make sure that my monitor lights or any light source that I have, you know, are kind of tilted another way so that I can actually see the keycaps. So I guess that's the only thing, is the reflection is pretty high on this thing. One thing to notice though, guys, is that the top shell right here is actually translucent as well. You see this? Yeah, it's translucent. It's kind of a black translucent. Oh, it's the same thing back here as well. There's your USB for your 2.4 gigahertz wireless right there. And here's a power switch back here. This is what's they were talking about. There we go. It is wireless. It does have batteries on it. Ha. So interestingly, look at this. You can see through, right? So you can see a little magnet right there for the USB port. You see that? They have a little magnet right there. Oh, nice. Okay. So let's see if I can tilt this. They do have 2 levels of tilting. So there's a small feet for you to tilt with, right there, and then there's the big feet. Not a lot taller than the small feet, but good enough. Okay, so let me tilt this up, and then let's play around with the RGB real quick. I hold down function, and I hit this button over here where it's insert. Most of the keyboards is kind of like this, so that's why I kind of know about it. But look, it's changing that up, and then I'm pretty sure you can change, like, there we go. So this is the mode that is in, which is, you know, the phasing mode like this. And then when you hit the delete button, it actually changes the color of that. And I'm pretty sure that this left and right here, if I hold down function, left and right here will slow it down or speed it up. So this is speeding it up right here. This is slowing it down. So you see how it's slower. See that? So let's change to another one. Alright, so here it looks like it's just spinning around here. But if I slow it down, the RGB is not like glaring in the eyes, that's for sure. Now that I'm going through these options, that's one thing I do notice. It doesn't hurt my eyes. The up and down arrow right here actually changes how bright you want it. There you go, I've turned it off. Now if I turn it way up, you know, this doesn't do justice. Let me turn this off. Here you go. Now I've turned off the lights. Is it bright? Is it too bright for y'all? Let me lower it. So that's super bright right there. So I want to say that in the dark, I can't really see my keys all that well, the letters on the keys, because it's translucent. You guys can see the keys right there though, right? Whatever this mode is, it looks good. So this changes the color on that mode. Here's all RGB. And this is literally just off, I'm guessing. Okay. If you want a single color, this is the mode for you. Okay. This is just breathing right here. Oh yeah, so this one right here, let me pump up how fast it should go. So whenever you press a key, it boom. Ah, okay. Very nice. So I think the last part of this is I want to point out a few things to you. On the back of the keyboard, there's actually the keys that you need to press in order to connect to different wireless. So here you can see that it's 2.4 gigahertz back here. If you hit, you know, function plus escape, you'll reset everything. You can connect to like 3 different Bluetooth devices here, 1, 2, and 3. So if you hit function plus these numbers right here, so let's say if I have a Mac, I can plug that and Bluetooth to that one right there. And if I have like an iOS device, I can swap over to that using just the same keyboard by just pressing function 1, 2, or 3 right there. So you can switch pretty fast using the Bluetooth. So I like that. I like the fact that they did that. And then if you just want to use wire, you hit, you know, the function 4. So then the other thing about this is I noticed is if you hold down the function key plus, let's say, one of these key right here, Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, it actually gives you the different type of keyboards. So you probably know this already, but Mac and Windows use the Alt key differently, right? On Windows, the Alt key is Alt, but on the Mac, it's actually called Command. And so if I were to hold down function and hit Mac on here, You see it's blinky Mac right now. So that means that it turned this Alt button into Command. So now I can do Spotlight by just holding down Command and spacebar, and then it will give me Spotlight for those Mac users that know what I'm talking about. But yeah, really cool that they give you different type of keyboard type. Very cool. So that's it right there, guys. That's the AULA transparent keycaps wireless keyboard. Pretty unique stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna play around with this some more, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye-bye.